Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Did you catch that?
What?
Fucking almost slammed that whole bottle of water right there on camera.
Wow. Sweet, man. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good, Jay. How are you, my
Very
friend?
well, very well. Isis, you good?
Great.
Shalom, Biggie.
Shalom.
Yeah, beautiful day out. I like that. I wish the cottonwood shit was gone. That's driving me nuts. But other than that, things going all right.
I'd say life is pretty good, man. If cottonwood is the thing bugging you.
Yeah, although there's lots bugging me. Don't get me wrong. But cottonwood.
Yeah, we don't want to go into that.
You know what is funny? I had to help my mom out of the garage today. Our garage spring broke, and I had to lift up the fucking garage, and I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it, dude. I'm not an upper body strength guy, and I'm sitting there trying a few
You're more
times.
of a lower body strength.
I don't have any strength necessarily, but I mean, I don't lift, and I'm very weak.
Kind of a fish body, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to fucking pull this fucking 2-car garage up, and I finally do it. And my mom was freaking out, and I'm like, just get in the car. I have it up. Go. And she's
standing there.
She's almost flustered, and now she's like, what did you
if
think?
it falls on my baby son, right?
I guess, but it's just dude, just get your keys, get out of here. I'm not gonna hold this.
Can't hold it forever.
Do you remember a day when we were young, Jay, before garage door openers were prominent?
Yeah.
I mean, and
I grew up without one for sure.
Yeah, but that's probably your family.
Yeah, no, we had the rotary phone and the non-automatic manual garage for the whole time we lived in Farmington Hills.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well,
So we'd pull up, and you'd have to take
Someone
the
would
key.
jump out.
Yeah, and you'd unlock it, and then you'd lift it up.
Turn the handle and lift that son of a bitch up.
And there was just
that was common though. That wasn't like a rare thing.
Huh.
I mean, Jay's family extremely cheap, no doubt about it. But there were a lot of. I remember doing that as a kid.
Wow.
Not in Farmington Hills, but in Livonia for sure. You know, when we were on Parker Street in Livonia, I remember having to hop out of the car.
I don't remember it being heavy, but of course we had the use of the spring, so the broken spring probably definitely played a role in Isis's ability to lift.
Isis, is yours one of those solid doors that pulls up, or does it roll up?
It rolls.
Yeah, we had the solid one.
Those are harder. The solid ones are harder, dude.
You can ride it. You ever ride those? Somebody jump on the front and
when
then the
wee?
other person lifts it. Yeah. Real quick.
Hell yeah. Yeah, when you were wee. I don't think it would work now.
Right. You wouldn't fit between that little 18-inch gap.
No, I don't think you would. You'd ride it all the way up?
Yeah, you'd end up on top.
No, I never did that. That sounds fun, though. I want to try that. Well, I'm glad you made it, Ian.
I know,
okay.
right? Luckily, my car was not affected. I don't get to park in the garage, so.
Yeah. We know some garage door people that do very fine work here, so I hope your mom will call them.
Yeah, I guess if they're gonna come out all the way to Oakland County. I know where they live.
They want the money.
Okay,
you know, give them the chance. That's all you can do is give them the chance. Oh man, a lot going on in the world. We should start. I don't know. Did we talk about Samantha Bee last week at all?
Mm-hmm. I think that happened after we left off with Roseanne, and then Samantha Bee called Ivanka a cunt.
A feckless cunt.
Feckless, sorry.
I was more offended, not at feckless cunt, because they bleep that anyways. I was more offended about, now go put on some tight clothes and go saddle up to daddy or whatever. And
of course, that harkens back to Trump's statement to Stern.
Right.
Wanted to bang his daughter.
My daughter's a 10, I believe he said.
Yeah.
He had called...
some very suggestive remarks.
If
she wasn't my daughter kind of thing.
Yeah. But that comment by Samantha Bee was like, okay, you're basically saying go look hot for daddy so he wants to fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can get whatever you want.
Classless statement.
So, of course, everyone, fired. He needs to be fired. Roseanne. And, while those comments by Samantha Bee, I don't know where you stand on this, Jay. We haven't talked personally about it. But to me, it's like, okay, tasteless comments. If everybody's going to be fired for making stupid jokes. But to compare that to Roseanne Barr talking about a black woman and comparing her to an ape is just so over the fucking line. Roseanne's was that I just don't put them in the same category. Do you?
No.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear you say that. I don't, but I feel
one's
the same way.
flat out racist. The other is very classless.
Yeah, it's stupid and probably helps her show a ton.
Totally.
I've never even heard of her show.
It's not good, in my opinion.
I barely heard of it. I knew the ratings were down, so it was primed for something like this.
It's like anything, honestly. It's like the Colbert Show at night. Apparently, if you like some chick who's gonna talk kind of edgy and slam Trump, dude, you'll fucking love the Samantha Bee show.
Really?
Which is funny because in her promos,
Is
a
it
lot
like
of time,
what's her name show?
It's just like a freaking
Chelsea Handler.
Kinda.
Yeah.
It's just her sitting in front of a green screen probably or a TV screen and running through the news articles and Trump's an asshole. And I mean, I haven't seen too many of it, but it's that. If you like that, you'll fucking like it.
Yeah.
If you like just some chick spewing left wing jokes, quote unquote.
Well, if you remember the next day, I mean, she sincerely apologized. I mean, it's just, you can always tell when someone, I would like to sincerely apologize to Ivanka Trump and my viewers for using an expletive on my show to describe her last night. It was inappropriate, inexcusable. I crossed the line, and she regrets it. But you know what she also does? She deeply regrets it.
Nice.
That's key.
That's, so she's got deeply in there, sincerely. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Enough to save her job, right?
Right.
I don't think her job was going anywhere. Honestly, I bet. I bet she would have been fine.
This could have very well just been drafted by the network, really. Just
Well,
like Samantha
her
say
viewers
this,
would have liked
and then
this.
we can keep you.
The reality is her viewers would have liked this, in my opinion.
And you're right, Jay, because this statement was released through TBS, which I thought stood out a little bit. Like, okay, well, she could have released a statement on Twitter, on anywhere. Anybody would have, she could have held a press conference. But no, it was released through TBS. The thing that makes that apology so totally stupid and insincere is it's a pre-recorded show with writers and teleprompters.
Sure, it was on the teleprompter.
Of course
multiple
it was.
people scrutinized that.
Yes, there were many layers. It's like if you or I say something, it's like this is a live show. To anyone that wants, they can watch and listen to us live. There's nothing scripted. Jay, you got off the teleprompter 2 years ago now. And I've been off the teleprompter for a good 6 months.
Yeah. So like when you were talking about the 15-year-old's titties last night,
yeah,
in a really creepy, weird way. That was you off the cuff. That was not endorsed by anyone else in the room. That was your thought and your thought alone.
Well, I was on the fence. Could have been a typo on the age. I didn't know because they didn't look like typical.
No, I think we went. Okay, Mike. Assume she's 15. What's your reaction? You still had the same reaction.
Well, titties. I'm such a fan. I'm
really.
just such a fan of titties.
Not a child's.
I know.
It's a child's.
I didn't say I'd touch them or stare at them.
Yeah,
but
it's a child's breast.
I just saw, yeah.
You're doubling down, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Sort of. You're making me. I mean, you're putting me in a weird spot because you know how I feel about titties, and it's
even a child's.
That's
fucked, man.
Not a child though. That's not a child.
It's just you being edgy, or
yeah, I'm being edgy. Maybe I should do an apology. I sincerely and deeply regret the comments that came out of my mouth, and I want to apologize to anybody, and I mean anybody who was offended. But seeing this story and how immediately it's like, why is Trump tweeting about, see what they did to Roseanne, but they don't do it to Samantha Bee in her low-rated show? Like, why are you commenting on her low-rated show? Everyone's got a low-rated show to him, and
bizarre.
Except for him, of course.
While it's true, even the Dems will agree that there's a massive double standard when it comes to outrage and demands for people's jobs and this and that. There are still a handful of cases of people that have crossed the line that are purely Democratic that have been blown out for it. We remember politically incorrect. What's his name? Lost his gig for a while. Bill Maher, yeah, when he said he agreed with a pundit about, the terrorists aren't really cowards. I mean, they are flying planes in a building. This doesn't seem very cowardly. And he also said something about he compared his dogs to retarded people, which, he just used the wrong term, because dogs are very much like retarded people, right? In some sense of the
I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess.
So Bill Maher, Alec Baldwin got blown out from his MSNBC show after he called a photographer a cocksucking faggot,
right?
Which was caught on camera by the cameraman.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
Dude, I do.
By the man holding the camera.
Yes, crazy. He tried to deny it. It's like, dude, you can't.
The camera had audio on it.
Yeah, a lot of them do. In fact, majority of them do. And so he was fired from his gig, and you'll all remember this huge gig. Up Late with Alec Baldwin on MSNBC. Boy, oh boy. I mean, I remember the Dana Carvey show, which lasted, 4 episodes. Or even Chevy Chase's show, which lasted a week. Up Late with
Do
Alec
not recall
Baldwin.
that, man.
I don't either. And then you had, remember the guy who was part of the Democratic Party, and he was glad that Scalise was shot? And that guy got blown out from his gig, too. But he was a real asshole. He said stuff like he was pissed that the Republicans wanted to take away the Affordable Care Act. And so he said something like, this motherfucker, like, his whole job is to, like, get people to convince Republicans to fucking kick people off health care. Hate this motherfucker. Fucking glad he got shot. Glad he got shot.
Can you imagine it's gone that far where you're saying that about a colleague?
I know.
Mike, you know who fucking said this? I heard this about a week ago or so. NoFX. I don't know if Mike probably doesn't know. I don't know if you know, Jay. It's a punk rock band. Yeah, NoFX.
Dude, come on. I'm not
okay,
retarded.
But Jay might not have known. But they're a punk band.
I must be retarded. I don't know.
Okay.
And they were in Vegas recently doing a show, and they literally did one of these jokes where they talk about, the shootings, blah blah blah, and they're like, well, at least we know it's bad or something, but at least they were country music fans and not punk rock fans. Am I right? And it's like, I mean, of course, their fan base probably really left, probably whatever. Oh yeah, country music fans are racist, but it's like, man, even for me, dude, I love that band, and I'm not gonna not listen to them, but that is such a mean, fucking ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah.
Like, look, people died, and the notion of just saying, well, at least they weren't punk rock fans and they were country music fans, by saying that obviously it means some racist just died.
Racist hicks.
Yeah, just blanket everybody is the same. He went on to say, I'm not going to fucking say that in public. I wish he was fucking dead. And so the girl that's talking to him is another person from the Democratic Party. I think she's part of the Black Caucus.
He wishes the guy was dead because he has different political views.
Yeah, nice attitude, huh?
Ooh.
And she says, why are you telling us this, but not telling anyone else? And she says, it's okay, because I've been recording this conversation since you've come on in here, so I'll publicly release it myself.
Oops.
Yeah, and I was like,
end
of that, dude. Sorry, sir.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, to celebrate Mike's triumphant return from the brink of death, Zott Ford will pay a minimum of $2,500 for any trade-in, regardless if it runs, has tires, or even a nest of squirrels living under the hood. Go ahead and drag that jalopy, push that piece of shit, or pull that pile to Zott Ford and get $2,500. When you purchase your next new Ford Plus, you can use that $2,500 as down payment on your purchase or lease only from your friends at dealsinthed.com.
You're welcome, everybody, for that $2,500.
Yeah, the deal in Mike's honor.
You're welcome. Yep. We have not heard from Emma Gonzalez and David Hogg in quite a while. It's been kind of nice, right?
I saw the hog rear his head today or yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying he's taking a gap year. Yeah, he's not going to college right now.
Oh, is this where he tour the world or something for a year?
Well, he's got work to do.
Yeah. Is that what he's doing? He's working on the important work that he's in charge of?
I believe so.
Or is it because he didn't officially graduate high school? Because I thought I remember all the guns in the country were gone, he wasn't going back to class or something.
Yeah, if I remember Laura Ingram's statement correctly, he didn't get into college either. So
Yeah, the 4 main ones anyways.
How is, by the way, that other, was it Chelsea Handler that was going to be taking time off of her show to become
Yeah, that's Chelsea Handler.
How is her endeavors going, I wonder, like, as far as, like, her...
Hopefully well. We haven't heard a word yet, but...
I'm sure she's fully accepted by her tribe.
Sure, right.
The other tribe is rejecting her.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just curious.
Well, she's probably buried in a production room somewhere, just putting together the piece that's going to solve the problems. You know what I mean?
Is part of her stuff when she's out solving world issues? Will her book, like Chelsea Handler, like I'm Drunk God or something? Her fucking book that literally just says that she's a drunk on it. Will that be involved in some of this helping with the community?
Will that play a role in her credibility?
No, this isn't a funny subject, E. Comedian Handler is on timeout right now.
Sabbatical.
Yeah, sabbatical. We've got work to do, and so there's no time for jokes.
Are you there, Vodka? It's me, Chelsea. Books like that, such hard-hitting books. I'm sure she knows how to solve the problems of the world.
Well, survivors have said that they were making a big announcement today. I mean, most of them have been off Twitter, kind of backing off a little bit, and it's like, all right, it's time to re-engage. Part 2 of the plan is coming. We'll make that announcement today. They didn't discuss details last night when these tweets came out, but they were all eagerly sharing this news last night. And so David Hogg said, I'm off Twitter until after our big announcement tomorrow. And so...
Should I see what's going on?
Well, it's hashtag Road to Change is what it is. I looked it up. And so March for Our Lives, which is the other group, that was the big hashtag when they were marching for their lives. Remember, they all left school not on a weekend or a holiday, but during school hours.
Yep, I do recall that.
Yeah. They've announced a bus tour registering people to vote for midterms. They plan to stop in every congressional district in Florida and 75 nationwide. And I think their goal, too, is to make sure that anybody that they're going to vote for won't take a dime from the NRA, and they're trying to convince nobody to give money to the NRA.
What's the hashtag?
Road to Change. To me, that sounds like an awfully expensive bus ride. I mean, we started pricing our RVs the other day. Remember that?
Yes, RVs are...
And they weren't cheap, not for ones that we're going to want to be.
Not for anything dependable.
Right. And so, just wondering, who's picking up the tab for these high school kids to tour the nation on this road for change?
2-month summer tour to harness the passion and turn it into action.
Look at this image on his Twitter about time to change.
Oh, my God.
I'm telling you, if he didn't look the way he does, he's so off-putting his physical appearance that you wouldn't hate him as much, Mike. You wouldn't.
I think, is it possible he's starting to think that he's hot? After a Time magazine cover, they've probably been on Rolling Stone.
I mean, look at this tweet.
Millions of people.
Isn't anybody hot in that pose? Honestly, who's not hot? If you look down to the side in darkness with the
clearly
light
he's got the
just hitting the
lighting,
top
right.
of your head, who's not hot?
And then you black and white it?
Yeah.
I would say that
Wouldn't
you
you agree that 75% of the public looks markedly better if put in that pose?
Yes, for sure. But those of us who require a neck man, it's a harder pose to pull
Do
off.
it. Just look down like that.
Well, can you take a picture of me and see if I look hot? Because I mean, if I do, this is groundbreaking.
I think the
you gotta
lighting
shoot
can
from-
do wonders.
You got to shoot
Well,
from
I think
above.
the lighting.
Hold on, I can't smile. Okay, hold on. Should I take my headphones? Take my cans off. My glasses make me look old.
Oh, jeez. Well, he is wearing a black shirt, luckily.
Yeah, that's pretty hot, dude. You look damn good, Mike.
Do I? Do I?
You're gonna like that. You're gonna like that a lot.
That could be a new profile picture for you.
think Jay's being facetious.
No, I think you go ahead and crop that. That's a Facebook profile right there.
Yeah, but
Let me
see, he's got more. You're trying to avoid my face more. He's got more
Well,
face in
dude,
his.
he's got lighting. Dude, this is a professional photo he's got. Jay just sat there on the.
Can I ask for one retake?
Well,
This is
can
like
you look toward me more?
glasses. You know, where are my glasses? Type thing.
This is great audio.
Yeah, I know. People are loving this. So how do you want me like?
Yeah. There you go. Maybe talk us through
Yeah, I don't know. Mike's doing his hottest pose here, apparently, and Jay is taking a photo of it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's wearing a slimming black
75%
shirt.
more hot.
It's not slimming E.
A black shirt is slimming.
It's true, Mike. It is.
I'm wearing verticals tomorrow.
I didn't mean it. I'm just saying you're wearing the best outfit for this photo.
Huh?
That's not a mean thing. I
75%
didn't mean that
more
as a
hot.
mean thing.
It's not bad.
Let me see.
I know. That's a profile pic right there. Just
Well-
crop E out of the corner of it. See him? Look at that.
Here's what you
see it,
need.
damn it.
Here's the only thing you were missing, Jay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Had to
See?
go noir.
Dude, I'm telling you, anybody looks hot that way.
I don't know that I look hot. Not as hot as David. I wish I would. I don't want to say I wish I looked.
Dude, I'd
like
go as
David.
far as say this is hot.
You think so?
I think this is and it's black and
You
white.
date this guy?
You look way better. I'll say that. I mean,
I wish we had.
I'm not going to say
Can you
you're
email
hot,
that to email it to detroitcast.com so I can pull it up?
Yeah.
Send it. Yeah, I mean, if God, dude, if we found a new post for me to look hot, it
I think that's it. You go.
was a wheeze. Did you hear that?
Oh, I've been hearing wheezes for a year and a half now.
Wrong.
I identified. Not
Wrong.
wrong. No, not
Wrong.
fake news.
Wrong.
I identified a wheeze a year and a half ago.
You're wrong. And I'll tell you why. Because when I went to the doctor, he went.
I can
Your
only
lungs,
imagine having a stethoscope to your chest
dude,
right
all
now.
over it.
Ugh.
A couple weeks ago, he goes, your
It's like a
lungs
honeycomb.
sound like a train is going through
Yeah.
them. I went back a week later after taking meds and stuff. He goes, I am shocked. Your lungs sound amazing, normal. So, that's a doctor. What does he know? Take your word.
You called the wheeze. I mean, you acknowledged the wheeze.
So if one of the 75 cities that they're going to come to is ours, you want to go out there?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Sign
Road
up,
to
maybe?
change, man.
Yeah.
It's an election year, you know?
I thought
What-
you said
what
they were
else?
all in Florida, though.
No, they're doing 75 congressional stops
Oh, okay.
in Florida, and then a bunch around the country.
Okay.
But is there anything else worth noting there, Jay?
No,
Anything surprising you?
it's really pointed toward teens, though, 18,
Yeah.
19, 20-year-olds
Here
who
we go.
aren't registered to vote.
I mean, is Hogg going to be doing Q&As or autograph sessions, anything like that? Photo sessions?
Go on a bus tour, registering people to vote for the midterms. Tours called Road to Change. Plan to stop in every congressional district in Florida and 75 stops nationwide. Keep up the fight.
Yeah.
Road to Change.
There you are, Mike, by the way.
See? Look at E in the corner.
I know, I look like an asshole, but I think you look...
Look at the grill. Dude, you look way better that way.
Can you mash together like that and Hogg and say who's hotter?
I can't. I could just
if you could do a Twitter poll, that would be,
Well, that I could probably do.
which one's hotter?
I mean, you're not going to win. Hog's just younger.
Right,
I think
you're right. I'm not going to win. I know.
No, I don't mean it like that.
The
I mean, it's hard to
lighting.
beat a
Lighting's key.
high school
Yeah,
kid,
yeah,
but
you guys aren't pros. Speaking of Parkland High School in Florida, where the shootout happened, I think they said it was the second worst shooting in the history of the U.S. in a high school, which is pretty amazing if you think about it. The officer, we'll just call him the coward,
Yeah.
has spoken out. Have you seen?
No.
He needs to just not speak out.
Oh, I can't believe he's speaking out.
Yeah, he was better off. I'd almost forgotten he existed.
I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background.
I would follow that advice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who his counsel is, but sticking him out in front of a camera. Scot Peterson is his name.
Not to be confused with.
Not a great name to have, I mean, really. He says that after one of the school security guards radioed it into him after hearing gunfire, he's thinking childish prank, fireworks. Dude,
But I'm not going to check.
the amount of people that say fireworks or backfiring car,
Yeah.
doesn't it, you've been around gunfire and fireworks. So have I. They don't sound that much alike, especially.
I think it's a hopeful kind of thing, Like,
Yeah.
Hope those fireworks. Those
Yeah.
fireworks, right?
That was just fireworks.
Little game your mind plays.
Yeah, it's probably
Had to be fireworks. Yeah, it had to be fireworks.
It's got to be so unreal. Like if someone walked up right now and just started putting bullets into the house, it would be so surreal.
Yeah.
That just something you would never expect in a million. I know Jay's looking out the window now. Hey,
Got me
creeping around out
thinking.
there is looking weird. So in the cop's defense, you would think, okay, if you want to say, my initial thought was 4 bangs. I thought it was fireworks.
Yeah, first 4 seconds of this thing, I'm thinking fireworks. But then
Yeah.
I whip into action.
Yeah.
No, I wait outside assuming it's fireworks.
It's probably just a few kids acting like idiots. This is next quote.
Oh, Lord! Lord, Jesus! Ow,
See, that doesn't sound
Clearly
like,
fireworks.
Oh, Jesus!
Yeah.
Terry's not
Distinct.
being shot there.
There you go, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry.
I love Terry. He says when he got closer to the building, he immediately realized it was not fireworks,
And
but
then what did he do?
gunfire.
And then, therefore,
Every man for themselves, I believe he yelled. Every man for himself, and then hit the deck under his cruiser. He still maintains, though, despite not going into the building, he did everything he could at the time. Absolutely everything he
not
could.
even close to everything. He
Well-
just, the biggest thing he could have done, he didn't do.
Well, yeah, it depends what your definition
That's like
of
saying that a
everything
house
is.
was on fire and you had the hose right there, but you just were spraying it the other way, and you're like, I did everything I could. I mean, other than that one thing.
It's not a terrible analogy.
it's like saying there's a house on fire and you stole the ladder.
Yeah. Cannot fucking believe you told that beautiful, wonderful story while I was out sick.
Hey, man, you got to get to work more.
Yeah.
You know?
I felt that was a slight
What?
because it's such a great story, and I've been trying to talk you into telling it for 4 years now.
Just came up off the cuff, man.
Isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah.
This is how radio works. Where like my mom will tell me, "Yeah, why don't you keep that off the airwaves? You probably don't need to tell your audience everything." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I totally agree." Until there's a really slow news day and you don't have shit to say, that's when those things tend to make their way to the airwaves.
Yeah, I don't remember how this came up, but it just came up as like youthful indiscretion we were talking about, I think. And it was like, oh, I got one for you, Jesus.
Yeah. Told them the story about
Yeah.
in case other, a lot of listeners tuned out because yours truly wasn't here. I mean, you could always tell the story again. I mean, it's a fantastic story.
Yeah, or you could go back and listen to it on episode number, what was it, 1062 maybe?
Or, what we could do? I could pull it during the break and then I'll just play it sometime.
Yeah, you could listen to the shows that Ian and I did if you wanted.
Good. I've been told by people to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, I have. He's like, I did everything I could at the time. How can they keep saying I did nothing? I'm getting on the radio to call in the shooting. I mean, kids in the school with cell phones were doing that too. Like, it was very well known that a shooting was going on immediately.
Got a gun on your hip, man.
I'm locking down the school. I'm clearing kids out of the courtyard. The evidence is right there.
Well, the evidence I recall is a closed circuit of him, kind of poking around like, eh, and then just standing.
Yeah.
And then pacing and standing.
Yeah. I'm human. In the perfect world, I would have said, oh, yeah, I know where the shooter is. Let me go to the third floor and find this person. At that point, if I would have known, knowing what I know today, I would have been in that building in a heartbeat. I mean...
Better chance just stand by one door and maybe he comes out that door.
Right. And then...
hide behind the door before
And then you hide behind
it.
the door as he runs away. Don't make a sound.
It's inexcusable. Dude has to go in. It's his goddamn job.
Yeah. It was my kids. Cared about the kids, Jay. I don't know.
All about the kids. That's
I
for
rack
damn
my
sure.
brain. I go, why? Why? Because we're kind of a
And he's sitting underneath his car. Why? Why is this happening?
in his defense.
to me. Why is this happening to me?
In his defense, like, you're right. That's his job. But in his defense, we all hope we're the ones that are going to rip open our shirt and expose our Superman ass and run in without a care in the world.
I hope that I'm never going to be in a situation where I have to do that, is what I hope.
Well,
I don't hope
do that, though. You wouldn't.
No, but you say we all hope that we
guy is
would
such
do
a
that. I think you
total
hope that
pussy. It's stunning.
I think people hope that they're not in that situation.
I think similar scrutiny would have been given to a guy whose job it wasn't, who was known to be standing there with a sidearm.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Not as much, but it would have been like, dude, why? Why don't you go in? I mean, come on.
Like, to me, Jay, there's no question. Even if you didn't have a gun on you, if you were outside one of your kids' schools and heard that, you would run in that fucking building. You would. And I wonder if this cop reacts different if, like, he's got an actual kid in that building.
I believe he would. We're all selfish, right?
Selfish sons of bitches.
Care about your own kid. But
So then I've got an excuse to never run into, even if I've got dual sidearms.
yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Still, though, I do think, honestly, I think even if there was just a citizen there who was known to have a gun and he was on video like that, there'd be a lot of questions like, hey, man, just, feel free.
Yeah.
Free to head on in there.
Well, dude, I would say
You remember, kind of like the black guy, remember the black guy that went into that church and started shooting, and there was some, like, dude two doors down that heard it, and just, I don't even think he put shoes on, and took that son of a bitch down,
Yes.
just went in there. That's what you're talking about. The guy hears trouble going on. He's got a gun. I think he's part of the NRA, and runs into the side of that church and just...
I think, to be honest, dude, most guys in that situation with a bunch of guns are... It's kind of like, it's kind of like when your wife's pregnant and you get to speed to the hospital.
Yeah.
I mean, this is your one freebie, right?
I've been training
that's
for this.
the
Take
thing,
out
yeah.
a fucking monster.
That's the thing. You say that you think that a person with a sidearm, even if it wasn't their job, would get scrutiny, but maybe not as much.
Definitely
I think
not
it
as
should
much.
be. Oh, see, my thing is, my thought is, dude, it could be more, in my opinion, because, dude, if you're one of these gun-torn dudes and you're like, dude, guns save lives, they don't kill people, and
Yeah.
you're sitting there with a gun, dude, what else are you having the gun for? That's why you have the gun.
Yeah.
You're-
Your money where your mouth is.
Hell yeah.
So I think that it's even as much, if not more.
Peterson says
More than a guy whose job it is? Okay.
No, just because I think if you're a dude, it's like your Second Amendment. This is the reason we need protection, and you never know. And then you're sitting there
I
like,
understand the
why you even
argument.
have a gun, dude?
Yeah, but those guys are pretty well trained with their guns. They like shooting them guns. I don't know how comfortable I'd feel, like, if I had my gun, because I might shoot 4 kids. You know what I mean? Like, that would be my main concern. Anyway, this guy goes home, Peterson, Mr. Peterson. He goes home, and now he's confronted with his girlfriend, Linda Rodriguez.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I said,
She's not going to look at him the same ever again, right?
fuck no, dude.
I mean, she's going to be like...
His words to her when he sees her is, I couldn't get him. It was my job. I couldn't find him.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Does he not know what cameras are?
That relationship's over.
He did not enter the building, however, to even try and locate Cruz, saying he'd been trying to search for the gunman for most of the massacre and did not hear of Cruz's location until the very end of his rampage. I was scanning for the shooter, trying to figure it out. Boy, I just remember watching a different movie completely. I was looking over windows, the sidewalk, the rooftop. I thought maybe it was a sniper like in Vegas.
That's creative.
I could have got him while he was reloading if I just heard more
People
shots.
not realize the more details you add to a lie, like the worse it is. The idea of like, oh, I was looking over windows or this or that. It's like, dude.
He maintains, and this is going to be hard for people to believe, he maintains that he only heard 2 or 3 gunshots. Cruz, of course, reportedly shot 150 bullets. What? Yeah. They keep saying I did nothing. A coward. I just didn't know. Why didn't I know to go in?
I don't know.
I don't know, Scott. The shooting lasted 6 minutes. Peterson arrived at the freshman building, which is where all the action went on, okay? Strong majority of it. He arrived there 90 seconds after the first shots were fired, then lingered outside for 4 minutes, asked what he should have done. Scott Israel, who's the asshole police chief, sheriff, yeah. He should have went in, addressed the killer, killed the killer.
If you want to pin it on something, pin it on that.
Isn't that hilarious?
So now he's put a face to the name, and we can all remember this guy
Yeah.
and his cowardice.
Because
Way to
he
go,
was
Peterson.
kind of off the beaten path.
I hadn't thought about Peterson in a long time. Really? This is George Peterson.
He should have left, and why would you make statements later?
Dude, you just moved to a different part of Florida, whatever.
Take Don's advice, man.
I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Is it possible this is leading to a book or a TV deal of some sorts? Like, why else would you come out now?
To read that book or see that TV deal.
Do you think there's anybody that hears the story we just did in the quotes and goes, man, I feel sorry for that guy. I mean, what an awful position and poor guy. Because I don't.
Yeah, it's not the thought I would have.
It's not the thought I would have either. So were you happy with the Supreme Court ruling today about gay cakes?
Sort of punted it
or
appears.
Gakes, as I call them.
Cakes. Like that.
Anyone want a gake?
Sounds like a punt job, so to speak.
I would agree. What are they supposed to do, though? Could they have done more than kind of punt this?
You know, you're supposed to be limited to the facts that are before you. So I don't have the briefs or the holding in front of me. So I don't know if they could have gone further. But usually the U.S. Supreme Court can pretty much go into whatever they want.
I love on this show how...
Well, Mike, if you're going to ask me a question...
we are a show that lives in rumor, speculation, and conjecture. Unless it gets into court-related, and then Jay's like, bag up,
well, do you want an answer or just
No,
a funny cartoon-type response?
Yeah. No. They could have done whatever they wanted. Gee. No, that's my question. Could they have ruled on the bigger issue, or is it like, no, we're dealing with this particular issue right
Typically,
now?
if a court goes outside of the issue, it's called dicta, and it doesn't have presidential value.
There you go.
But I don't know if they truly punted and really tightly restricted this, and if they could have gone a little bit wider.
Yeah.
Essentially, they were forced to decide. Look, you've got the gays with the rights, and you've got the Christian guy with the rights, and what rights trump what in this situation?
I don't want to make a gake.
Basically, they just said, look, listen. They kind of punted it to the lower courts and agencies to be more fair, because in this instance, they said the agency really didn't give the guy a fair shake. They didn't recognize his religious freedoms.
Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just totally looked at it from the gay rights point of view, and so they just felt like it was not fairly decided below.
So you've got the Supreme Court justices, and it was our favorite little. You've got Sotomayor and who was the other dissent?
I mean, it's Ginsburg, Sotomayor,
Those
Kagan
two.
and Breyer are your four that are typically going to be on one side.
Right. So
Yeah.
Kennedy's their swing.
Yeah, Kennedy's the swing between that group and Roberts, Thomas, Alito, and Gorsuch,
Right.
who I voted for in November.
Right. I remember that. November 8th, I believe.
Yeah, that was the day.
So they were ruling on whether or not a business can refuse to serve a gay and lesbian couple. The justices' limited ruling Monday
Holding.
turns.
It's just a pet peeve. Oh, did the internet say ruling? Oh,
well-
it's a holding. We've talked about this. It's a holding.
I'm just reading it.
Appellate court holds.
The
Trial court
justices'
rules.
limited holding Monday
Thank you.
turns on what the court described as anti-religious bias. And I know people are going to get really pissed off. I already see Twitter like, this is bullshit, this is anti-gay. It really didn't have much to do with gays. It was more about the religion aspect.
Well, it has to do with that weighing. When you have two people with rights, constitutional rights, and they're trying to exercise them, who trumps who?
Yeah.
And that,
Well,
so it does have to do with gay rights.
the guy...
And in this instance, there, if you look broadly at the holding, you go, "Oh my gosh, the gays lost. This was wrong. Oh my God, this is Trump's conservative court acting out." Blah blah blah. No, like I said, they just very narrowly looked at it and said, in this instance, the lower agency that initially ruled on this didn't afford the baker his rights.
The woman, I think it was, said some pretty nasty shit to Mr. Phillips, Jack Phillips, dynamite baker, I hear. I mean, fabulous baker. But he didn't want to make a cake for Charlie Craig or David Mullins back in 2012. They filed a complaint with the commission, and they ruled in their favor, saying he violated the state's anti-discrimination laws. The justices vote 7-2 that they violated Phillips, the baker's First Amendment right to exercise his religion, which is what you're talking about. And they said that the commission showed hostility
That's it,
towards
right there.
him and his religion.
And they want to see a weighing below. They didn't come out with a pronouncement like, "Hey, in this instance, religion wins over
Yeah.
gay rights." They just said, "We need to see a fair weighing of these constitutional rights of
Yes.
the two parties below." And in this instance, we didn't see it.
The outcome hinged on the former commissioner Diane Rice and what she said about freedom of religion and how it's been used to justify all kinds of discrimination throughout history, whether it be slavery, whether it be the Holocaust. When the justices heard those arguments, they went, no. You cannot compare this to the Holocaust and slavery. It's neither tolerant nor respectful of Mr. Phillips and his religious beliefs. Kennedy also noted that the commission had ruled the opposite way in 3 other cases brought against bakers, in which the owners had reserved to bake cakes containing messages they disagreed with that demeaned gay people or same-sex marriages. One of those cases involved another baker who refused to decorate a cake with a gay couple and an X mark going through them. So who the hell would be ordering that cake? You know what I mean? Like,
Probably just a test case, honestly. Somebody going, "Okay, I wonder what the commission will do with this.
good question.
What if we're anti-gay?"
Anyway, the commission said the baker acted appropriately when it comes to the question of whether businesses can refuse to serve gay couples because of their beliefs. Kennedy said the decision will have to wait until another day, meaning this is on the docket, further up the road. The Supreme Court will rule on this. Do you have a gut feeling on how they're going to rule on that in the end at all?
No, really don't.
That's a really tricky one.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I can absolutely see both sides of the argument. I don't have any problem with gay people, lesbian couples, whatever, do your thing. But at the same time, people that I know that are religious, that are truly religious, that hold religious beliefs, they really hold them. And they really believe them, as they should. I mean, if you don't really believe those thoughts, you
Well,
shouldn't.
the gay couple really holds their belief, you know what I mean?
Right.
And the religious person equally really holds their belief. So
Yeah.
what are you supposed to do in that instance? It is a tough one.
Yeah, I know. We have run into some things where, haven't we, with flower shops, where it's like, dude, I'll sell you all the flowers you want, but don't ask me to come and decorate your wedding setup. It goes against my religious beliefs. And so there's different levels to the arguments of all this stuff. I'm really interested to see what the Supreme Court comes out with when they do make a ruling. I mean, it's going to literally piss off half the... Makes a holding.
You're going to issue a holding.
You're going to issue a holding. And when they do, boy, I can't wait for that. Aren't we hoping this summer? Wasn't there talk that this summer there would be some big cases coming through the Supreme Court?
Haven't tracked it, obviously.
No.
Honestly.
Yeah. Bill Clinton Speaking, why he's doing interviews and letting people ask questions about Monica Lewinsky, I'll never know. But he claims he doesn't owe her an apology.
Why?
I mean, there's got to be like a team that he can get into a room. He's a smart guy and he knows a lot of really smart people. There's got to be a way to construct a statement of some sort.
Why does she need an apology? Why do we as a society need him to apologize?
Well,
Like, just step back one. Like, why is this even a thing?
well, because of the Me Too movement, hashtag Me Too, a lot of people believe, you should have stepped down. You're even worse, blah, blah, blah. You're accused by all these women. And so they're going to ask him about it. And so he's put on the spot everywhere he goes. Spa. And he doesn't really have an answer. He says, no, I do not owe her an apology. I've never talked to her, but I did say publicly on more than one occasion that I was sorry. Former president.
Well, there you go, right? He said he's sorry. What, you guys want more than that? Jesus, you want more than that?
Oh, I don't really care. I don't give a shit either.
When you first read the story, it sounded like both of you guys wanted a better apology.
I don't really give a shit whether he apologizes or not. I just think it's stupid for him to take the stance on this. Just say, yeah, you know what, I will. I thought about it later.
Too.
I will. Just whatever. Find her, call her off, apologize, and get over it with. Whether he cares or not.
I mean, that
That's
woman's
the only thing
life was destroyed. Period.
Right.
I mean, she's the original online bullied girl. And her life was destroyed because of this guy and his team. And so
Selfishness. His dick.
I don't think it's out of line to go, hey, Monica, man, I just want to say you suck great dick. But outside of that, I really do owe you an apology. My team came strong after you. My wife said some nasty shit about you. And I just want to apologize for that. I feel terrible. But anywho, when are you going to be in Washington next? You see my new place? Something like that. So he's trying to say that he portrayed himself, not Lewinsky, as the victim. Now that you can't do. Man, I'll tell you what. When I left the White House, I was flat broke, man.
What does being broke have to do with you apologizing to this girl?
Well, you think it was bad for her, man? I was broke.
Yeah, really?
He claims he left the White House down $16 million in debt. Yeah, he's worth $80 million now. I bet it's more than that. That's probably just his wealth, not even Hillary's. But decades later, she's still traumatized by the aftermath of being identified globally as the chick blowing the president. I am unpacking and reprocessing what happened to me over and over and over again. He accused the interviewer, Craig Melvin, of ignoring gaping facts and describing this. I bet you don't even know. You don't even know the facts. What facts do we need more than, dude, you're on the phone with world leaders while a 22-year-old intern is blowing you under the desk. Miss Heinrich's dress, for Christ's sakes. Or her office sink. He accused him of ignoring these things. That was litigated 20 years ago, man. 2/3 of the American people sided with me. If you were president today...
What does that mean? That they were just okay with you fucking doing this and ruining this girl?
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of weird statements in here. That's what I mean. I would figure he'd be better on his feet than this because it just seems weird. If he were president today, he said, his most famous extramarital affair wouldn't be an issue because people would be using the facts instead of the imagined facts. Okay. It's 20 years, and then the guy he's with, because he's writing a new book with this dude, because that's what we need is another Bill Clinton book. So he's writing a book with this guy, and so this guy feels the need to jump in and help his partner out, Oh, it's 20 years ago, man. Come on. Let's talk about JFK. Let's talk about LBJ. Stop this already.
It's always a solid argument when you just start deflecting towards other adulterers.
Yeah. Which we do all the time.
I know.
Well, that's what Bush did the same thing, asshole.
I understand, but it's still to me when you start going down that as your defense route.
and then President Clinton's like, oh, that's a good one, man. Hey,
Good point.
You think President Clinton should have resigned or President Kennedy should have resigned? You believe President Johnson should have resigned? Someone should ask those questions because of the way you formulate the questions. I dealt with it 20 years ago plus. It's like, no one cared 40 years ago that whoever was getting blown in the Oval Office, and I don't think it was one of their interns anyways. It
wasn't the same
just getting
what
pussy
she went
wasn't
through,
it?
by the way. It
What's
wasn't the same for what she went through with the
Yeah.
the worldwide.
Yeah, there didn't
shit.
seem to be a victim like that. You know, I mean, Kennedy allegedly was bone and everything, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
there didn't seem to be this young girl who was just put out there on a limb and
And
villainized.
And in LBJ's defense, we know he was pulling his dick out as often
Had a
as
huge,
possible.
huge dick.
Yes, and he wanted you to know that. But I don't know that he was stuffing it in chicks. Maybe he was.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Everything I've heard is like, no, in parking lots, meetings, bathrooms. I mean, he wanted you to get a good, strong look at that
Plus
hoggy
the
there.
obvious, if you're the obvious, not the obvious, but the shower, the shower built to his own needs,
Oh,
so he
that's
could get the
right. He had a dick level nozzle
Shower
put on
head.
there. Yeah, shower head. Yes, yes. So you keep that son of a
Dude,
bitch
that was
clean.
before its time, man. The dual shower head did
Right.
not
Oh,
really
yeah.
come into our culture until
maybe
2000,
it's
man.
him. Maybe
Yeah? LBJ, that's his best move in history. Huh? I'm bringing
Best move. Where do they usually put that? Like back level? Do they put
think
that
they
at
do.
dick level?
No, I don't know. I don't think they go dick or back. I think they go two up top, right?
Two up top. Yeah. Well,
But I think his was
His
dick
was-
level.
oh.
Wasn't that the deal?
absolutely, without question, it was. Yeah. First California female sheriff accused by 3 officers of sexual harassment.
No.
Is it?
No. Oh no.
Is it? Can we start to say that it's just a power play? Like power position is what makes people act out like this. I mean, not the hottest chick in the world.
No.
I mean, if you're gonna be sexually harassed by a woman,
Are chicks claiming this or dudes?
dudes. Yeah. CE, what do you think?
She's all right, I guess.
You would. Yeah, 3
the hottest,
officers have accused the accuser. This is Santa Clara County. Laurie Smith is her name. She was hit with the allegations in April after one of the guys sent a retirement letter. He's unknown. He doesn't want to be known. But it just said, "You will recall how on multiple occasions you sexually harassed me." That was part of his letter. The former officer, like I said, doesn't want to be identified, said through his lawyer that he had experienced sexual harassment from Sheriff Smith and remained silent or largely silent because he feared retaliation. Same exact thing we hear from women. Doesn't matter, you know. Like, I want to keep my job. I don't want to fucking rock the boat. And then Smith was the former officer's supervisor to jail when she allegedly touched herself in a way that made him uncomfortable.
Ugh, dude.
Yeah.
That chick's gross.
Yeah, it's worse. The image that I saw originally was not that it was bad, but
Some of these go back 15 years. Can you
I
subtract 15 years from that look and go, all right, that wouldn't
Find
have been
something
that bad.
older-y, something from 2005 or something.
I don't.
Oh, it's getting worse.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. These poor officers. So what does that mean? He's working at the jail with her, and she's touching herself inappropriately in front of
She's
him.
flicking the bean.
I know.
What's
Is
she doing?
doing this or is she grabbing?
Could
Like
she
if
be
she-
popping her titties?
Yeah, yeah.
She-
Thumb and,
would it
thumb
be-
and forefinger.
Oh,
I don't
hell,
think so
it's a
because I
good
feel
move.
like that. I don't think that would be nearly as. I don't know. It's just titties.
What
whatever.
is
but
this move? Is it squoze together or is it squeeze together?
Yeah, they're squoze.
Squoze.
She's squeezing them, kind of. Yeah, the voluptuous bosom. I don't know what the move is.
I'll go on record and say, if as long as you're keeping your hands to yourself, any woman that wants to squoze her titties together in front of me is fine. I'm not ever going to have a problem.
Squoze past tense. I think it is. I feel like it is. I feel like squeeze should have been in that sentence. I think they've been squoze. They're squozing.
I don't think
She's
squoze is a
squeezed.
word.
Is
She's-
squoze a word?
Squoze is a word. Man, I'd love to see her squoze them titties
Yeah,
together.
they were squozed together.
I fear you're right. It's past tense. You know, what'd you see last night? Well, she squozed her titties together.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that fit, right? That felt right?
Yeah.
Yeah, damn it. All right, fine. If you want to squeeze your titties together in front of me, I'll check it out. Keep your hands to yourself, though. So, the man also claims I'm going to need some help with this one, Jay. Suggestively handled a police baton and sexually harassed him while they were working at the 94 World Cup at Stanford Stadium. Dude, you got this chick wanting to get it on. You're at the World Cup. This is the greatest fucking day of your life. All right, police baton. Black,
Yeah.
long. It's got that handle.
Phallic.
Yeah, phallic-like, very phallic-like. For a guy, a guy's doing this. A guy's using it, like, if he's inappropriately using it, he's using it as a dick. perhaps he gets extra creative, shoves it down the pants, and is like, God, I hate having a hog like this.
Right.
You know, and shows that thing going halfway down his
Absolutely.
kneecap. So what is a chick doing?
I mean, is she going like this?
For the listeners, Ian,
Oh,
maybe
sorry.
describe what you're doing.
The
Mouth?
the blowjob. I think
Universal sign of
Universal
blowjob.
sign for a blowjob.
I think you need the cheek part, too, E. Much better. Here. Show him on this. So we can see on video.
What do you mean?
So we can see how a
you
phallic
can see
like
what
piece
this
of wood
means?
would.
The video.
Oh God,
I mean,
So she could have been doing that.
way too real.
Is it possible she was like, officer, I need you behind this trailer, unzipped, and then sat down on it? That's
Yeah, anything's possible, I suppose. Suggestive,
Betwixt?
suggestive use of a baton.
I'm shocked. I wonder what suggested would really though get this guy to be enough that he considered it sexual harassment. Just because guys tend to be a little more whatever. You know what I mean? I wonder if it was really if it was more than just kind of a blowjob. And
we do tend to be more whatever, Jay.
well, more okay with shit like this. I don't think a lot of guys, if Mike sat here and just started going, hey, am I right, Biggie? Huh? And I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, is that put yourself in the environment of a sheriff's office? Is it ever okay for a colleague, your boss, your subordinate, whatever, your colleague, to do anything sexually suggestive?
I know that
Obviously,
you know that
yes.
it's
Obviously.
right. I know you're gonna say. I know
In
no,
rare
but-
instances, though.
Sure, whatever. But no, but I'm serious. I just wondered if there was more than just her doing hey, this, I wouldn't mind doing this
really
later.
Think it matters if it was. Is my point.
Yeah, okay.
I guess
Well, I'm
I
curious.
wonder that too. I
I'm
do.
just
In
curious
your
if
defense, I'm
she-
curious too, but I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
I just want the facts. You can't just say suggestive behavior
Yeah.
with a baton. It's like, I want to know, was she going twixt her titties? Was there any insertion?
He's
Was she just
anonymous. He should give a little
fake
more information.
blowjobbing? I mean, not that any of it makes a difference. It's all inappropriate, but I'd just like to know.
Now, see, to
It's
me,
curiosity
where it
in
might
me.
start to offend me, maybe if she was like, hey, I don't know what the other cop's name is, but hey, John, look at, this. has the
Sergeant
baton-
Gary Brady.
Okay, hey Brady, I bet your dick ain't this big, huh? I don't know, like he's making fun of him because hey, I'm used to this size dick. I bet yours is small. I don't. That's where maybe I'd start to be like, you know what? Enough with the small dick jokes,
Well,
That's where the line freezes.
I'm just
Anything short of that, though, it's okay.
right, I guess.
the weird part of this story, too, is when you look at these cops, like one had 30 years, 45 years for another guy. Like, these aren't dudes that are, just graduated, rookie class coming out of the academy and joining
Some
the
millennial
force.
or something. They're
Yeah,
grizzled
it's like,
guys.
Shit,
fucking-
what do I have a boss here? Like a 45-year veteran, even if it happened 10 years earlier and he's 35-year veteran,
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a 50, 60-year-old guy.
You're right.
So unfortunately, it was Gary. Like, this guy's got to deal with the sexually suggestive baton. The other guy had to deal with, what was the other one dealing with? Whatever. But Gary Brady, Sergeant Gary Brady is the one I felt most bad for. He came forward with allegations. She undressed and she got on top of me and she wanted me to do some things that I'm embarrassed to talk about now.
I mean, I get it that you would want to, if you're, if you were married, a relationship, you don't want to cheat, you think it's inappropriate, this or that, but embarrassed that you're talking about, do you like sex? I mean, even if you don't want it with her, how embarrassing it would be like, yeah, you can't believe it, this chick wanted to bone me really bad, but God, I just don't even want to talk about it, it's so embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you've already said she undressed, she's on top of you. And I can't say anymore. She wanted me to do some sexual things. And it's like, kiss
Even
you?
if she wanted to piss on you, like, I mean, you're not asking for it. Why would
Nothing
it,
wrong with that, E. Nothing wrong with that.
No, but
Seriously.
I'm saying, like, it'd be like, I mean, this, I wouldn't want it, but this is how bad it was. She wanted to urinate on me.
God, your female boss climbing aboard. Crazy.
Yeah. Dude, to me, I'm sorry. I know it's all bad, but it totally depends on how hot she is. I'm sorry. It just
I don't have any
does.
earlier photos that I
I
see.
know
so we just have to
it's
go-
not going to end well. I know this ends in disaster.
Yeah, she could be a lot worse. You know what I mean? She could
Yeah.
be really big and really, really gross. She's just, I don't
mean-
know. I'd say she's 50th percentile, right?
Yeah, you're going to give her that even? Okay. Yeah.
It could be a lot
I've seen a
worse,
lot
dude.
worse.
Female sheriff. Come on.
Yeah, you're probably right. So anyway, this guy's like, all right, it's time to go. We got to go. And he kind of gets up and blows her off. Well, then he gets pulled off of, he's a narcotics officer. He gets pulled off this big narcotics
go.
case that he's working
Being
on.
retaliated
And
against.
he's begging her, like, please, put me back on this narcotics case I've been working
God, she
on.
wanted that dick.
Count number 2, retaliation.
She
in
says-
violation of Title VII.
According to, this half of the argument, her response was, well, should have been a bit nicer to me at the Elmwood. Elmwood was where I'm assuming she laid on top of him nude. In other words, if you would have put out for me, be running your little narcotics game. That's illegal, right? That you're not
Yes.
allowed to
Ooh.
do. I mean, is that pro quid quo?
That's straight
Is
up
that-
retaliation.
Doesn't sound good at all.
Pro quid quo. Quid pro quo.
Ah, that's what it is. That's trading. That's trading.
This for that.
This for that. Have you seen the newest pictures of Jonathan Depp?
Yeah, Jonathan looks awful.
Dude.
Is he possibly preparing for a role?
Everybody says that, but apparently he had a role a year ago.
Oh, God. Look at him, man.
Dude, he looks like a cancer
Yeah,
patient or an
looks like-
AIDS patient.
Totally.
Nice hat. Fugly.
Yeah. The guy's like 60 years old wearing a fugly hat.
If you
He's
see
got
me,
AIDS.
if I make it to 60 and you catch me walking down the street wearing a hat that says fugly in huge letters, will you do me a favor? Punch my face so hard that the hat falls off.
I will.
And then take the hat with you and dispose of it properly. Can you do that for me?
God, man, he is, though. He's not looking good.
Yeah. People are saying, you know what it is? He's always wearing guy liner, and he's not now, and that really takes the white out of his eyes and the fullness out of his face. I'm like,
No. No, this guy's lost 40 pounds since last we saw him.
and he didn't need to lose a pound.
It's like Jared Leto and Matthew McConaughey when they lost all their weight for those roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's what he's looking like. It's
Well, they were saying that Depp did a movie a year ago where it would have made sense that, the part he was playing, it would have made sense for him to lose a lot of weight.
the Harry Potter movies he was doing.
I don't know. You know what?
Anyway,
Okay, I've got it here. He was Depp was looking less than healthy after playing a terminally ill academic in a forthcoming film, Richard Says Goodbye. However, that finished filming last summer.
maybe you like the look,
Yeah, but it seems like it wasn't even a year ago that we saw him like cutting his finger off and like writing bitch or whatever on the wall.
He's got AIDS.
Was that more than a year ago?
I think it was more than you're thinking, but
Yeah. Oh my God, is it gross when a finger gets cut off? Oh my God. Did you see? Were you here, E, when McCarty was here?
maybe, I don't know.
Dude. She's like, yeah, tell you about my wife? And I'm like, no, what about her? Yeah.
Oh no, fingertip.
Dude, he's got like 3 dogs, little bulldogs and stuff, Dolce and Gabbana and blah blah blah. And the little fucker, right? The little fucker is just like, he's a Napoleon.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Napoleon. And so if he gets a hold of the bigger dog, it's like, and he's gonna hang on for dear life. He wants to go. He's the chicken hawk of the group.
Got it.
Yeah. And so these two start going at it. The dogs start going at it. Chicken hawk and the bigger one. And so she tries to break it up,
Oh no.
One of them bit her fingertip off.
and one of them bit her and wouldn't let go.
Oh my God.
And he's like, "You want to see the picture?"
No,
I'm like,
that's when he goes,
no,
"No," and you
no,
bury your
no.
face.
And he goes, "You're a fucking pussy. I'm showing you the picture." And I went, "I don't care. I don't want to see the picture." He said, "Pussy, you're seeing the picture."
So what?
And then he
That's
showed
where
me
you
the picture.
Go, yeah, I'm a pussy. Whatever.
Yeah.
You bury your head in the carpet. You do whatever you whatever you have to do. You do not look at that. Now it's seared in your psyche.
Like it's so hard for me not to look like a pussy in front of Darren McCarty that if
He
it's
already thinks you're a pussy.
I
Just-
know, but if I don't need to go further down into the pussy zone.
What's the difference?
Yeah,
Pussy
you're
is
already there.
pussy.
I know, but if I can man up and like give it a glance. Oh, jeez, dude. Oh, that's brutal. Dude, it is finger to about here.
I know.
And then it's just bone and blood, and the rest of the finger is, I don't know, a snack for one of the dogs.
That's what I was going to ask. Did it eat it?
I don't know what it did, but he's
See,
got.
that's most troubling to me. The notion that another animal is eating my flesh.
Would you wait for it to poop it out?
Dude.
Isn't that brutal? Literally, because I've heard people say that. Oh yeah, tipped my finger off, and you're like, you're fine. Took a little half a nail off. No, like down to the knuckle, dude. Took this fucking Cheryl's finger off. He's got pictures of her being airlifted, helivac'd out, and guess
Did
what
she
they're
get
doing?
Hurt somewhere
Wait,
else on her
why?
body, or
Oh man,
Why?
J- Jay said that.
Seems
not
like
me.
you could.
No, that's the
Wrap
first thing
up
I
the-
thought. Helivac.
She was
Wrap up
probably
the digit.
alone. She was probably alone because Darren's here and she's in Florida, and probably called 911 and went, "I'm here alone.
Usually,
I
ambulance
don't have a
goes.
finger," and they're like, "Ah, shit, it's gonna
We'll
take
send a
a
helicopter, not an ambulance.
But who took the pictures?
How
then?
big is your yard? Can we land a helicopter?"
So there's images of this. Who's taking the images of her being Helivac'd?
Once.
No, Bloods was here, destroying my house. No, I don't know. She could have asked one of the.
Then why were they
EMS guys.
driving?
What?
Well, she asked. Okay, never mind.
I'm sure
seems
it
a bit
wasn't the
extreme.
pilot.
I'm with Isis. This seems extreme.
I saw the
I'll ask
pictures.
DMAC myself if that's where you're going. I'm totally comfortable asking him, why was your wife Helivac for a.
I
cut
thought about
finger?
it, but I figured they do things different in Florida. I know in Florida there's so many old fuckers. All you hear is sirens. Maybe all the ambulances were tied up, taking old people to the hospital. And all they had left was a Helivac. I don't know. But, dude, get this. So you know how they're fixing it? They fucking, like, stapled her finger to her palm, right?
Then skin of the labia.
And no, they're not taking any labia now.
They're letting it grow. The palm skin is going to
Dude,
grow.
the palm skin is going to graft
Oh my
to the
God.
finger, and then a few weeks later they take out.
So she's in like 100% Spidey mode.
Yes, totally.
Wow.
And so then when it grows enough, they're just going to take some like cheap scissors and just be like, and then her finger's back.
Wow.
Sure. I'm sure.
It's going to look great. It's going to look great. You know what? If you're going to have fucked up fingers or hands, though, you might
Dude,
as well
it's-
be married to Darren McCarty.
Yeah, good point.
You know what I mean?
Dude, it's going to look like a melted candle, let's be honest. I mean, I wish her the best. I hope it works perfectly, but that doesn't sound promising, Mike.
Dude, can't we match colors and stuff and just do a nice little cap with some super glue? I mean, you're in and out in a day. You stop the bleeding, and it's like,
But
here's,
human
here-
skin-
they pull out the drawer with the fingertips. And it's like,
Matching
find
human
which one
skin,
fits.
dude?
And you just put it on and go, I like that one. Yeah, it's not bad.
And you know those
Are you
rubber
serious?
fingertip covers, you know?
Yeah.
You have to, I don't know, you're using them for paper, you know? getting
Sure,
through
so you
paper.
can really
Yeah.
get through stuff fast.
Plug one of those on.
But it's
cut-
not going to look real. This is going to look more real than that.
I think that's ribbed for her pleasure.
Good point.
Are you picturing the little fingertip
Oh,
thing I am?
dude, totally.
Might not be a bad way to go.
Maybe so, but
Are you
Mike's suggestion that it's
suggesting
more real
I'm
looking.
suggesting
It's got
she go to-
ulterior. It's got alternative options.
I'm suggesting this might be good news, and if she just heads over to Office Max, she can take care of this for $1.99.
And your thought is, not only is this going to serve as a great new fingertip for you, you are going to be flying through flipping pages. Not to mention, flicking the bean is going to take on a
Bean,
whole
new level.
for you. Whole new
This is
level.
good news.
Think this is a good news accident? Felt bad for it, dude, just seeing that finger. Oh, it's so gross. So
Yeah,
gross.
that's tough, man.
I don't want that to happen.
Hey, insurance. We all need it. Most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who provides it. Well, let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that shit. Brent has over 30 years in the business. He offers all types of insurance coverage: auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. Call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900 and get a free, no obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900.
Hey, let's take a quick time out, Jay.
Sure.
Sure. And then, boy, you're not going to like this at all. Involves a penis, a leg, and a shark.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I told you.
I've
And
got post with sharks on it too.
Oh, I love shark boobs. Is there a great white on there?
No,
Or-
strangely enough.
tiger?
I'll get to that. They're kind of pussy sharks, but
And then a guy ended up in the hospital, you know. Think along the lines of when we interviewed Dr. Tommy.
yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get into that and much more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. Detroitcast continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroitcast. Mike and Jay. Oh, boy. Got to kind of stop things here for a second, Jay. I apologize. Yeah. I was going... all of a sudden, I had a shitload of notifications on my phone in the break there.
Yeah.
From Facebook.
You looked very concerned.
Dude, I was hot.
You were like, what? What?
If I was in Jerusalem, I would be flipping tables right now. That's how hot and ass-chapped I am right now.
Understood.
So anyway, Amy Hayes posted something on my page, okay? And so people start commenting. And, of course, it doesn't take long for someone to say, hey, I wish there was one of... She had posted a bunch of pictures of, like, me in the grotto. You know, pictures you guys have seen. Whatever.
You want to reset this?
At the Playboy Mansion. Yeah.
I would maybe reset what you're talking about. Like, why? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I think you should reset the whole story. If you're
she
kind of
posted
just
something unrelated
Who's
to
Amy?
anything.
Who's Amy?
Amy was my girlfriend back in the day. Amy's the girl that took me to the Playboy Mansion.
And she posted on Facebook some old pictures of you guys at the Playboy Mansion.
No. She posted a picture, something unrelated. People started talking and asking about the Playboy Mansion. She's like, oh, yeah, I was just looking at him. Here's a picture. Here's another picture. Here's another picture. And so some smart ass said, I wish I was there. I was one of him. I wish there was one of him being big time for a photo op with Pam Anderson. Of course that's going to come up, right?
We've talked about that many times.
I've been very, very firm on my answer that I did not want a picture with Pam Anderson.
Very firm.
Talked into it. And
Zero ambiguity in your story.
And so lovely little Amy Hayes responds to old Chad Jeffries' comment and says, Chad, I remember us wanting one for the morning show.
Whoa.
In other words, the Drew and Mike show.
Us wanting one. So immediately your credibility is thrown up in the air. I don't know what to think at this point.
And we,
whoa, you and her.
Yeah, she and I were debating. And at the last second, I tried to stop him because I got that gut feeling she was going to say no to us.
Holy, this is directly opposite.
And she said, no, I'm all done, and flipped her hair.
Okay, that's accurate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the question becomes, whose idea was this? Was there deliberation between the two of you? Was there some sort of agreement? Because the way you told it, she wanted you to go get a picture, and you're like, no, you know, I don't even
like her.
She's probably going to say no. I don't even want to. This is douchey. She's like, no, just go ask her.
Dude,
according to you.
Is it a dick? I want to call her,
Amy.
like, right now.
Not Pam.
Yeah, not Pam. No, I don't. I'm not interested in talking to Pam Anderson. Can we call her really quick? Do you mind?
Sure.
Because I'd like to set the record straight. I know you're probably not going to be on my side,
dude. I just want to know what happened. I don't care.
We just want we're fans of the facts.
That's
Mike.
right.
That's what we're fans of.
It sounds like we've received some fake news, either from you or her.
Yeah.
I think we're very impartial, both Jay and I.
Totally.
Sure.
Objective.
Sure. Let me know if she's around.
Just gonna hear the facts, weigh the evidence.
She's not one to like
provide you a verdict.
Amy is not one known to go, well, on second thought, yeah, you're right.
Really?
So there's.
Hello,
is this Amy?
who's this?
Who do you think it is?
Hey, Amy, it's Jay and Mike from the Detroit Cast. How you doing?
Oh, Boo and Jay.
What's going on?
Where's the question?
What?
Well, I think you're coming through on my home.
On your home?
It's a, oh, sure. Can you hear me?
Yeesh.
Yeah, barely.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds all right.
Barely?
Right now. No, you sound good there.
Well, I was
stand there.
outside. I'm at Dollar General.
Okay. It's irrelevant, but okay. We're calling
What's
from.
going on?
Well, I got a little bit of a bone to pick with you.
Like what kind?
I saw some postings on Facebook while we were in a break.
Yeah.
And I took issue with one in specific.
One of them greatly concerns Mike.
Greatly concerns me because
it's directly contrary to a story that he's told 20 times.
800 times on the show. What you don't know, Amy, is when we went to the Playboy Mansion, and I had to wear that
red fanny pack.
Red fanny pack because I didn't have pockets, right? And so I have taken an unnatural amount of abuse from listeners, mostly Jay, the fact that I was wearing this gay fanny pack.
You wore
right?
a fanny pack to the Playboy Mansion.
Right. We've been through that. So anyway, I also tell the story about being snubbed by Pam Anderson. And my story is crystal.
Oh boy,
she's had enough.
She's like, fuck this guy.
Fuck this dude.
Yeah.
He's done enough to ruin my life. I don't need him anymore.
It's just so starkly different, you know? It's not even like, well, I can see a gray area there, and that's what she's, you know, the way she worded it. No. It's opposite. Opposite.
I'll call her fucking dad. I don't care.
What's her dad gonna do?
Probably told him the story.
So we're gonna get the hearsay from her dad?
Hi, this is Amy Hayes. Leave a message.
Oh, Amy. Oh, Amison. Answer your phone, woman.
Hi, this is Amy Hayes.
No. Thank God we have post-editing capabilities.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this would be
a disaster.
Absolute disaster.
Abject failure.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I have never been more 100% sure of a story in my... And I'll tell you why. Because at the time, Pam Anderson was literally the biggest person on earth, and I didn't think she was that fucking hot.
Yeah.
So the idea, I didn't want to... It's like you and I have a long-standing tradition of, guy rolls by in a red Lamborghini, I'm not giving him a glance.
Blinders.
Fuck him.
That's what he wants.
He wants me to notice
That's
his
what
car.
Pam wants.
Yes.
Therefore, I find your story completely plausible.
Credible.
I do find it credible. I wonder if she's recalling a different celeb that was there. You know, maybe you guys weighed like, do we go up to David Spade? I don't know.
Well, I know David Spade had no interest in taking a picture with me.
Okay, I'm just throwing that
until
name.
Amy walked up, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, you guys want a picture? Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, fuck you too."
Yeah, her in the middle. Her in the middle.
Yeah,
dude, that's my only thing is maybe she's just conflating it with some other run-in.
Well, the fact that she's dodging us now proves my point. She doesn't have a good answer. She knows where I'm going.
She's busy at the dollar store, man.
She knows what she wrote.
Dollar General, sorry.
Yeah.
What do you buy at the dollar store? Maybe some wrapping paper or something? Like
milk?
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, Amy, what are you buying at
Yes?
the dollar store anyway? Your Dollar General.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Okay, I'm getting out of the car now. I'm going to walk in the parking lot.
Oh, it's going to be windy. It's going to be like... Can you just sit in your car for a moment? We need to settle this, Amy.
Yeah.
You there?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, so now, I vividly remember, and I've told this story 100 times on the air.
It seems vivid to me, Amy.
That when we were at the Playboy Mansion and Pam Anderson was there, I was very clear that I was not going to go up to her and ask for a picture. She was probably the biggest star on the planet at the time, and I didn't think she was that pretty or worthy. And you were like, when are you going to be with Pam Anderson again? Just go ask her for a picture. And I'm like, no, I don't want a picture with Pam Anderson. You're like, just go ask for a picture.
Now, let me stop you there, Mike. Amy,
Yeah.
is this ringing a bell at all? Does this sound familiar? Does it sound truthful?
Well, at the time, if you go back and think about it clearly, you had a different situation where there was a certain morning show that you were on, and they wanted us to get lots of pictures. And so, therefore, the discussion was, should we ask or should we not?
Is it possible, Amy, that
We were going to get it together. You said, can we get a picture with you? And she twisted her hair around and whirled her, basically used her surf, she was with that surfer guy again.
Yeah.
And she kind of twirled around him and flicked her hair at you and she said, no, I'm not done.
That is a very specific recollection by Amy. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do with this.
Amy?
It's the truth because we didn't want any photographs. We didn't want any photographs really because we just aren't the type to ask for autographs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we weren't really seeking it for ourselves. We really were doing it because it was a part of the job, like to take back to Detroit.
No, understood.
And that was really and I kind of, at the last second, I just got that feeling she was going to say no because that's how she is, And I would remember, if you don't recall, I was only painted in gold paint, nothing else.
Yes, I remember that. You were one of the Bond
I was
girls.
basically naked. So I don't know if she didn't like the gold finger thing or not. Maybe she didn't want to take a picture with the naked person.
I imagine you were not the off-putting part of the couple.
My fanny pack was more of a problem.
Probably you and your fanny pack. Let me ask you this, Amy. whoa, is it possible that you're conflating this memory with some memory of another celebrity? Like maybe you guys had that discussion before going up to David Spade or something like that?
No, because everybody else was nice, and we knew she was probably going to be problematic.
She's the only one who denied you guys, isn't she?
She is denied.
Wow.
Yeah.
This
well,
is tremendously different.
I can't. I'm almost speechless, Amy, that your recollection is so different from mine, because I remember vividly going, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy that asks Pam Anderson for a fucking picture. I don't
Well,
want.
We didn't really. Neither of us.
There's a
wanted
lot
to.
of
That's
wheeze
not-
here. No, Amy, there's a lot of wheeze here, and I remember going,
I would say that the argument was really that you wanted me to do it, and I was like, I didn't want to do it, so I was trying to make you do it because other people wanted us to do it.
So you were trying to make me do it.
So that was probably where the argument between you and I was like, do it or not do it. Who's going to ask? And then at the last second, I was like, no. I remember I kind of put my hand out like, no, don't ask. And you were already on your way.
So,
you were already on. You were already on your way.
Mike is sashaying toward Pam Anderson with his fanny pack at that point. There's nothing you could do.
The part of her story.
I got that feeling she was going to be a biatch.
A bitch, yeah. Well, the part of your story that's believable, I could see us arguing, me going, no, you go up to her and I'll take a picture of you two. Because I didn't give a shit.
Well, I didn't. I certainly didn't want no damn picture with her.
No, me either. Me either. But you just went on. You just went on Facebook.
Concern.
You just went on Facebook and told all of our listeners that I'm a liar. That my story has fallen apart, and I want a retraction. I don't know what else I can say at this point. I need a retraction.
You are known, are you not, for stretching the truth at least?
What else can you tell us, Amy?
I would say that.
In what other instance do you recall that?
And let us not forget that you may or may not be heavily medicated. We don't know.
Oh,
well, that's true. That's true.
And you could have been heavily medicated at the time.
Yeah, it probably was.
I believe Amy. That's a great point.
Damn it.
It's a great point.
What are you doing at the dollar store? What are you buying at the Dollar General store?
Oh, wow, are we off that?
I'm buying a gallon of milk for my daddy.
For Morris?
Yeah, for Morris.
Morris Hayes.
You know what Morris is going to do?
What?
He's a good man. He's a stand-up guy.
Yep.
He starts his first week next month as a teacher at Vacation Bible School.
Good for Morris.
Well,
look at that.
Isn't that something? The Union Pyramid moves on to becoming Vacation Bible School teacher.
Well,
amen.
good for
Can I
him.
get an amen from the peanut gallery?
Amen.
Amen.
Are you guys in Kentucky or something?
Thank
Is
you.
that right? Kentucky or Tennessee? Kentucky. All right.
Kentucky. Are we allowed to mention anything you've been nominated for or possible awards coming up?
Accomplished recently?
Accomplished, perhaps. Or are we not allowed to mention that?
Well, not just yet.
Okay. All right. Well, hold on.
Not just yet.
Amy, I will talk to you soon. I appreciate you coming on and lying on our show for us. That means a lot to me.
Of course, I'll lie. Anytime you want me to lie, you know me. I'm the first in line.
There you go. Thank you.
Lie.
Thank you, Amy. Say hi to the fam for me. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Amy.
All right. Love you guys. Love Detroit.
Love you too. Bye. Dude, she's fucking wrong. She's wrong. Period. Like, if anybody else at that party, she could have a story that didn't match mine, I'd go, she probably remembers it more than I do. That Pam Anderson moment, the reason I was so fucking pissed off when I was walking back to where Amy was with the camera was simply because I didn't want the picture to begin with.
It sounds like the two versions can fit together. It sounds to me like her strongest recollection is her going at the last second, like, "Oh, don't ask her," as you're already walking toward. It doesn't mean that your version is foreclosed. I think honestly, I believe you, Mike.
Thank you.
I do. I think that you guys had this back and forth, like, fuck, man, do we do this? Do we not do that? And you were probably like, I don't want to do it. And she didn't realize it was a concern of yours. Like, I don't even like this bitch enough to walk up to there.
She knew that. And it's true that Amy would have been like, there's David Spade. Let's get a picture. Or go get a picture with him. Because she's right. I needed to come back to the show, the morning show with some, like, if there was nothing like, oh, yeah, it was great. And I don't have a picture of anything.
I'm willing to accept your version, Mike.
Good. And whether or not she thought in her head.
Yes, I think she concluded after you walked away, like, oh, fuck, she's not going to give that to him. And that's really what she's mainly remembering.
Right. But it was her that sent me over there. Period. End of story. I don't care what she writes on there. Liar! I do love her dad, though. Morris is great.
Morris.
He'll be a great Bible study teacher. Yeah, he's funny as shit.
Hey, Hamlin Pubs. They're inviting you to their 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pub's great food, their drinks, and their atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for an evening with your girl, it's always a great time at their Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations.
How do you feel about sharks? Have we changed our opinion on sharks?
Not at
Jay?
all. Not at all.
You know fridges falling over kill more people than sharks do a year?
Yeah, that doesn't mean I can't be, like, fearful of them. I mean, they just freak me out.
Well,
I don't care if it's a small chance. It still is really, really freaky to me.
Yeah. There's a teenager who had his panus ripped off.
It's panoozle meat.
Yep, in Brazil. Jose da Silva was attacked while bathing in the waters on the northeast coast of Brazil. The shark struck just as lifeguards were like, hey, get closer to the shore, close to the shore.
Right in the panus.
Yeah, got him the panus in the leg. He suffered 2 heart attacks on the way to the hospital.
Don't blame him.
He had his left leg amputated, his veins reattached to his sexual organs in a 3-hour operation as they tried to stem the blood loss. But
The main vein, they got that back on?
I think they were working on the main vein when everything went south, and he ended up dying. And I got to tell you, that's the best news of this story.
Honestly.
I mean, seriously, dude.
Complete panoozle meat and a leg.
And a leg to a
got
shark.
2 heart attacks on the way. I might want to go, too.
And maybe if it was a great white, maybe.
What was it?
It was a tiger shark.
Well, dude, they're both vicious as hell.
I know,
Tiger's
but-
worse, honestly.
Dude, if I get bit by a shark, I want it to be a great white,
Yeah,
period. Yeah, I
of
don't want a
the movie.
hammerhead. I don't want a tiger shark, you know.
Bull shark and tiger, I think, are the 2 that
Yeah.
they really go at it in shallow waters.
Yeah, they say despite undergoing emergency surgery, his panus and femur were amputated by the bite. Femur's this one, dude. That's
yeah.
like above the knee shit.
Bit it right off, huh?
Yep. I believe it was a tiger shark. Lost a lot of blood. They don't say how big his panus was. And
Enough
it's
to dangle down there to entice.
very good point. And
Is that a
if it-
commercial
even-
for swim trunks, gentlemen?
Maybe. Well, if you got the femur, does it mean it dangled at least to the femur? Or is this a double bite?
Picture him freestyling it in. You know,
Yeah.
he's warned by the lifeguards, hey, come
Sure,
on in. He's
sure.
freestyling it in, and that thing's just trolling,
Yeah.
right? Just down there like a little worm,
Yeah.
just being pulled along on a hook.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Can you blame the tiger shark?
I guess I can't. Boy, that would be a tough deal. I'm glad for his family that he passed. That's the best news of this story. It's like the second time in a week, though, that this beach has had attacks. It's like if I go to a beach and they're like, oh, yeah, last week Tiger took off with this guy's dong.
No way, huh?
And the thing is, we've got to take his word for how big his dong was because it's not like the shark's giving it back. So he can say anything. He go, dude, yeah, it was 12 inches. I mean, it hung to my knee. That's how he got it. You know, and
God, think about how much you love your dong, right? It's like it's like your favorite part of your body, right? And some animal is gonna end up eating that. Like that is a grim thought, dude.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
You know?
Yeah, no, I know.
Your dong.
Yeah, it is. You asked if it was my favorite body part.
It's
I had
gotta
to
be,
think
right?
For
I
a
mean,
second.
yeah.
I had to think for a second, and I don't even have a close second.
No,
I mean,
nothing
honestly.
is a close second. It's your dong. Maybe your balls, dick and balls.
Yeah, but balls are.
Balls are gross and weird.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. No, dick is like
Far and away.
95%.
Yes.
Like the rest of the body is like 5%.
What's your second favorite body part, honestly?
I'm thinking. I'm looking at you. I'm like, I don't know, a nose, an ear,
Yeah.
a lip. What? I have no idea.
Guess you have to start to think about like, what would I look weirdest without? And so then you start thinking of facial features. Right?
Yeah, but you'd look tits with an eye patch. I got to be honest with you.
Right, but no nose. Like,
Yeah.
that's tough, right?
My dad, his best
Dad
friend
doesn't have a
growing
nose?
up. My dad has a nose. He does. My dad's best friend, Lou,
Prosthetic
Lou
nose?
growing up, has one of those. Yeah, got cancer.
Wow.
And I hadn't seen him since I was just a wisp of a child. And he
So what do you do? Like a rubber band around your head, kind of like one of those fake elephant
dude,
trunks?
they are not good at
stick on there. What do you
at
do?
making you.
The stuff that holds posters up. You just the blue stuff.
No, it was
How
like
does- how does
it
it
was
work?
it was like a mask that went like
They
from
sew it
the
on.
top lip around, and then there was a nose. I don't know if he got to pick, what style, like Cyrano de Bergerac or anything like that. But it was like a whole thing, and it was like, oh, hey.
Oh.
It's not something that you can, from a distance you squint.
No.
No.
Can't miss it, huh?
No. You do not want that procedure done.
Go nose, second favorite part of the body.
I think you go full-time clown work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
24/7 clownery.
Like if you roll around in one of those tiny cars and everywhere you go from that day forward, you're wigged, you've got white makeup, you've got
squeaky red nose.
And then that's really the only option, even to a wedding. Even to a wedding, because it was, poor guy. He passed away anyways, but he was a good boy.
How do you know?
You knew the man.
Yeah, it was my dad's
Oh,
best
that
friend.
guy. I'm sorry. I thought you were about the shark bitten guy. I'm like, how do you fucking know?
Well, I don't know much about it, but I'm not gonna speak ill of the dead.
Okay.
Come on, you dick. Should we get to some email? I mean, I
could.
could tell you about a Chinaman
but I'm not going to do that.
that got
because
an eggplant stuck up his butthole. But I mean, that's on you guys.
an
You wanna hear about-
eggplant, man.
Yeah.
Shit. It's
Yeah.
bulbous.
I mean, I've got X-rays and everything. It's full on eggplant.
That looks zucchini to me. You sure?
Yeah,
That's an eggplant?
What they said was that it is a aubergine stuck in his body, and then they say an aubergine is also known as, it's a vegetable also known as eggplant, because I think of eggplants as wider. I think that's what you're keying in on, the cucumber aspect.
Yeah.
It's just a picture, so I don't know if we're getting the depth right and all that and the width. And
That's
all
a
that
pretty
stuff.
skinny eggplant if it's an eggplant.
Yeah. Well, can one of you guys bing aubergine, AUBERGINE? Because I'd never heard of that. And this poor Chinaman stuck one in his butt.
Yeah, it's an eggplant.
Is it?
Fucking eggplant.
Yeah. Dude,
But-
what are you doing?
Yeah,
You know what his excuse was?
He
Since
slipped.
I know you were gonna ask. No, that was the guy's excuse that I got the giant shower head stuck up in his ass like a week or two ago. His was, I've been very, very, very constipated for 4 days, cannot shit. And so he figured, if I take this giant
It's going to stimulate the rectum.
eggplant, and just fucking sit all the way down on that son of a bitch.
Get the sphincter working, right?
Yeah, he's gonna pull it out, and then it's gonna be a waterfall coming out of there, and fix all his problems.
Lesson learned. You
Dude,
live
what-
and you learn.
At that point, I mean, obviously there's other ways to take care of constipation, but wouldn't like a plunger be better than an eggplant?
Can you plunge
Like-
shit out of your buddy?
But what? It's just more, dude. To me, the idea of getting something, suctioning something out, that'd be more.
It's totally made up.
I know.
It's not even a thing.
I just wanted to bring up the.
It's not even a
I
thing.
just wanted to bring up the
You're
idea
constipated.
of a plunger.
Yeah, he's going to take X-Lax or whatever.
Yeah, be better. Have a
some
cup of
prunes.
coffee, some
Yeah.
prunes.
He's not going to insert an eggplant or a plunger as
Could you
as
imagine-
you would do it.
I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, which side of the plunger are you talking
No,
about?
I'm talking about the suction, dude. Like you fucking, like you're doing a toilet.
Which end did you mean? Because all of a sudden you're making a lot
So
more
you're going to
sense. now.
prolapse the anus?
you're doing a
You're just going to
toilet.
prolapse the
Sure.
anus.
I want to test this. Can we
Use
get
this-
someone over here with a plunger? Anyone that
We have
will
a
plunge?
plunger and we have an anus.
Yeah, but I don't want to do it, and you
I'm
don't
not
want to do
doing
it.
that, so
Do you know what a prolapse means, E?
it doesn't sound good.
Inside out, baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come
Oh,
shoot
dude,
right
I
out.
do because if you this is a long time ago, but if you remember, there was a time I brought up I think like a prolapsed cow anus or something one time.
You binged that up?
I think I did
think
one
you
time.
did,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think you did too.
And because
Yeah.
I literally didn't know
I
what the
vaguely
term.
remember looking up and glancing for a moment, then burying my head.
And you went, not a prolapsed one, because we were trying to see what a vagine looked like on a cow. And E pulled up one where they were obviously trying to impregnate it or something.
And just
they-
pulled it out
They
on
pulled
accident.
out and prolapsed
Yeah.
the vagine. And Jay was like, dude, how about one that's not prolapsed, moron?
I didn't know what that meant, so
Yeah. Oh, my God. Dude, we've talked about this before, and the comedian Chris, who's the guy that hosts The Talking Dead, whatever his
I
name
don't
Dude,
know.
it was one of the
I know
funniest
what you're
jokes ever where he's talking about people sticking shit up their ass. And he's like, there just becomes a point of no return where it's just like, mine,
Yeah.
mine, where your butthole just goes, mine.
No, there's suction. That's what Dr. Tommy said, right? The suction is created, and the hard part is trying to just pull. You can't just pull it out
Pull it
straight
back
all
out.
the time. Like
Can't you-
the pool noodle was good in the instance that Tommy described because it had that hole in the middle. It allowed the air and the suction to release.
Like a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's important. Don't forget that, fellas. If you
Yeah. So if you're going to stick an eggplant,
put it on the drill press first.
if you're going to put an eggplant up your butthole, you think a straight hole through the middle is what you need?
Can't hurt.
See, I think you need a base. Like if you're going to get into any sort of butthole play, you need a base that can lock up at the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just hey.
Oh my God.
Take that advice for what it's worth. I mean, that's just
Not
whatever.
want to hear about this.
Gentlemen, we've received post.
For the love of
We're getting into the season now where
I
post
know.
is going to be flowing in, and this is an exciting time for me because we get some incredible facts.
Yeah.
And here's one of them. We mentioned sharks. This is from the Georgia Aquarium. And this is from Tom. Hello, Jen's from Atlanta. It's the home of the Georgia Aquarium, which has a huge 10 million gallon aquarium.
Wow.
10 million gallons.
Wow.
The largest in the world. There are 4 whale sharks. The only ones in captivity in North America.
That's good.
Don't worry, Jay. They won't eat you. Now listen to this. Even though they're 23 feet long, the opening of their throat is only the size of a quarter.
Bullshit.
What an incredible animal.
That's not true.
Hey,
Who gives you a
Tom
stomach?
said it on post. So
Who gives you a stomach that big?
And then makes your mouth like this. And doesn't give
requires you to eat plankton and such.
all it can eat
Size
is
of a
plankton.
quarter, dude.
Dude,
That's
that's
an incredible fact.
I don't
Look
know
at the
if I
whale shark.
believe that.
Beautiful beast.
Yeah.
You know what makes a shark a shark?
What's that?
The cartilage nature of their bodies.
Really?
Yeah, they're not a bony fish. They're cartilage. That's
Did
something.
not know that. Yeah. So what are all these other sharks? Are they at the aquarium as well?
I'm assuming. Yeah, they're pictured there. They're on.
Wait, the opening of their throat is only the size of a quarter.
Right.
So what if they've got a huge mouth?
Okay, so you swish it around in your mouth. You gargle.
Hey, chew
you
it.
gargle with a person.
Chew person into something that fits down into the quarter.
Is a whale shark really gonna gargle you?
You made it sound like he was walking around life like this. He can't do anything because he can't he's just got a mouth quarter.
Look, ultimately, he might as well because he can only ingest a quarter size.
Yeah,
piece
once
of
he's
food.
chewed me for an hour.
Bob writes in. Insight, infat, and incel.
Oh,
Infat, I had to look
that's
up.
original.
I had to look up infat because it's a trademark. He has a little R next to it and everything.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, it's a fat
He
component.
doesn't have a TM. He's got an R.
It's an R. It's
It's
trademark.
registered.
Fat component used in baby formula. Interesting. And then incel is obviously somebody who's involuntarily celibate. So I got it. I'll take insight on that one.
So you've got insight.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Your recent discussions of Beanie Babies reminded me of the Princess Di Beanie Baby I bought during an on-air charity auction at Riff. The purple bear with the
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
flower.
worth $1 million.
Yeah,
Huge,
hold on to that, Bob.
huge money.
Hold on to that, Bob.
Hang on to it. Yeah.
One Mike Walters was on the phone taking my bids. You also mentioned that upscale Starbucks wouldn't be affected by their new anything goes customer policy. Au contraire, the Starbucks I frequent has a panhandler. I'm not sure we said that, Isis, when we talked about that policy.
No,
I said I think we said it. They'll all be affected, but more so like the inner city ones.
I was more
be
just
overrun.
joking that essentially rich white privileged people would be like, oh yes, this is a great idea. Well, you're not going to be dealing with that in Birmingham.
No, you will. You actually will. And in fact,
think
he's going
so?
to describe one. Yeah, and I remember in Birmingham there being a couple of vagrants,
Okay.
quote unquote, that would
Yeah.
hang around that Starbucks. But that's Bob's point. He says the Starbucks I frequent has a panhandler that sets up both in front of the entrance and sometimes inside the establishment. He's a sympathetic quadriplegic fellow in a sweet mouth-powered hawk-like wheelchair.
Oof.
I know.
Well, you can't call him out as fake.
Well, being of African-American descent, says Bob, we refer to him as Black Hawk Down. I know, I'm already going to hell for listening to this show, so a little wordplay shouldn't hurt. Just moved all my insurance requirements over to Wasik. Hey,
Nice.
awesome, Bob.
Very
Thank you
good,
for
very
doing
good.
that.
That's
That's pretty bad, huh?
yeah. He said he's got the tube to be
He's
mobile.
got the tube. A badass hawk-like mouth-powered wheelchair. And he
It's
calls
hard to
him-
walk by.
He calls him Black Hawk Down.
I'm going to another Starbucks.
Yeah, I'm crossing the street, man. There's another Starbucks across the street.
That's hard to walk by.
Well,
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry.
I gave a guy $2.
I'm
One of
not-
my
I'm not-
$2 bills.
Really?
Yeah. Today. It was one of those where, you know, when you get stuck at a light
Yeah.
and it's like, please make this light because you see what's standing on the corner?
Mike, how do you...
And-
are you so...
Got stuck at a light and he was wearing not like army green or anything like that. He was wearing an American flag T-shirt, you know, red, white, yeah, I mean, it's stripes and stars, everything, the whole works. He was very patriotic looking, and his sign just said, former Navy veteran, down on my luck. I hate to even hold this sign, but can you help a brother out or something like that? And I was like, oh, man.
Got 2 2s and a 1.
And I literally have no money, like none. And so I'm in my wallet, and I'm like, because he's me to you, and I'm trying to do that thing where I'm just like singing my song. Like, I don't see him there. I don't see anyone there.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. And then you're glancing over in there.
And I'm like, oh, shit. And then I'm like, oh, man. All right, here's
You pulled out a 2.
All
Did he know what to do with it?
I
He's
had
like, what the
2
fuck
2s
is
and
this?
a 1, dude. I literally had 2 2s and a 1. And I was like,
Take 2 2s and a 1?
And he was so happy to get that 2.
Dude, I just spent a 2 the other day, too.
Yeah,
and I was in a similar desperate measure. I had 0 cash. I never have cash. I'm always charging everything.
Yeah.
Well, Sweet Pie loses one of her final teeth.
Tiny girl! Tiny girl!
Lost one of her final teeth.
You did not pay $2 as a fairy.
The fairy paid with a $2 bill.
What?
What,
Dude, I
you think
got
it should be more?
quarters. I got quarters
That's all I
as
had,
a child.
man. It was like
It's her last one and his last kid.
It was like 1 in the morning.
You couldn't
I
find a
woke up,
quarter
I'm like,
anywhere in the house?
Dude, I seriously, it was 1 in the morning, and I wake up. I'm like, shit. The last 3 teeth I pulled you lost it too late at night. The fairy, must have didn't get around
too
to this
late
part
at
of
night.
town.
Dude, you've shaped the fairy as a lazy piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, busy, not lazy, but busy.
I'd say lazy.
So I'm like, I can't keep doing this. I'm just went shoveling through. I'm like, do I have any dollar bills? Anything? No. Here's a 2.
Wow, is that the most you've ever paid for a tooth? It's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buck at most.
What you should have done is left the 2 and said, I'm going to need $1.50
yeah.
and change. Do you have change for a 2? And then made her give you $1.50.
Can you break a 2? Can a Sweet Pie break a 2?
Tiny girl. She's worth every penny of that $2 bill.
Save the rest for tomorrow, Mike.
Very good. We have to do this again tomorrow?
Yeah.
Fuck. I thought we were done for the summer. I thought we were doing teacher's hours this year.
At least they get their summers off.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get out of here then. Glad you guys believed me and not Amy on the.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Manchester.
I think
Thank
she's
you.
misremembering some key points. Of
It was more personal to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining the show and hanging with us. We, as always, appreciate that. Thank you for using our sponsors. Continue to do so. And we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, you will join us then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.